Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of the Empire of the Kop podcast. We've got a special one for you today, a book author interview with Marios Mantzos, the author of you see, I do get this right sometimes. The author
That's right.
of The Social One, why Jurgen Klopp was a perfect fit for Liverpool. We also have regular on the show and a fellow colleague of mine, Peter Kenny-Jones, and I will be your host, Farrell Keeling. Marios, thank you very much for coming on. How are you doing this lovely afternoon that we're all
I'm
stuck
fine.
inside?
Hello from Greece, from Athens. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a real honor for me. And first and foremost, I would like to apologize for my English. I'm not native. Sorry, but it's the first time I use them in public. So I need your understanding and forgiveness. I will do my best.
I mean, you're coming through wonderfully over here, Marios. So I wouldn't worry at all. I think I'd be in a very difficult position personally if I was asked to test my Greek on the spot. But we move anyway. But obviously, we brought you on to talk about your book and the wonderful man that is Jurgen Klopp, who has brought us so much joy over the years. Even despite our current struggles. This season. I just wanted to kick off firstly, your book's obviously delving into the personality that is Jurgen Klopp, and I suppose first and foremost looking at a man who politically really fits the bill at Liverpool, not just Liverpool the club, but Liverpool the city, the values that run deep throughout both. Could you just summarise for us what sort of inspired you to take a look at Klopp and his suitability for Liverpool Football Club?
Yeah, the idea of the book came to my mind when I saw him making that fist pump celebration in front of the Kop in the match after the match against Bournemouth in March 2020. It was a game that we were 6 points off clinching the title. So it was obvious that we will be the champions. So I saw that connection between him and the Kop, and I was like, there's a story to be told here. A nice story. It's not. It's something really special here. This man brings joy back, and now brings the Premier League to Anfield. So that was something really inspiring for me. And then we all got locked down, as you remember, and I had all the time to make my research and to find everything I could to say my story, to tell my story. So yes, some things that he had said before for the socio-political thing inspired me too, because I don't hide. I am in the left of the middle of the center also. So it was something easy for me to communicate with. So yeah, a man that would never vote for the right, I think, fits perfectly in the socialist politics of Liverpool as a city.
Yeah, definitely. I'd just like to echo as well what Farrell said. Thanks for coming on, and obviously nice to meet you. And I think there'll be a lot of people watching who enjoy your backdrop there. We've already picked up on it. You were quite a showing. Nice to see the book as well. But so obviously you've touched on his political side, and obviously we know Jurgen Klopp, the manager, from watching what he's like on the sideline. But maybe a bit more you've learned about him off the pitch, like maybe his religious outlook and how he is and his philosophy on life, really. Is there anything you want to share that you've learned about that?
Sorry, would you mind repeating the last part of the question? Sorry.
Just anything that you've learned from him off the pitch that you'd like to share about, because there's a theme where you want to touch on, like his ideologies around true love and stuff like that, and falling in love with football and the city, and just anything you want to share about that.
Yeah, of course. I forgot to tell that I thought that Jurgen Klopp could be in our mind the reincarnation of Bill Shankly in a modern way. because Shankly was a left socialist. So I saw a lot of similarities in this kind of thing. So there's the second chapter of the book called, this is the book, sorry, called In the Fortress of Socialism. So in this chapter, I analyze my research for the socialist history of Liverpool and how Bill Shankly got in the team and in the city and changed everything in the club. And then I go to Klopp and how and why I believe that he is the new Bill Shankly in a modern way. I have many stories here for that. Things like the homosexuality and things that he had said for Josh Cavallo or women with the same sexuality. So the LGBTQ plus community, things like that. There are many stories like this in the second chapter of in the Fortress of Socialism. I hope I answered the question, because I apologize for my English. Sorry.
Don't be silly.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, obviously, you mentioned the Klopp's fist pumps, which has become something of a tradition in the aftermath of important wins for Liverpool Football Club. He's built an impeccable relationship, with the fans, but also quite importantly within the squad, the environment that he's fostered since from day one, from top to bottom, turning fans from doubters into believers, from encouraging, there was a point quite early on, an image where after a 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace, Klopp got all the players arm in arm and went over to salute the Kop. So that connection is something that runs deep in that man's veins. I just, in terms of your book, could you, I suppose, explain to us what you've sort of learned in your perspective on how Klopp sort of uses his human touch and I suppose his need for connection and that sort of, especially an emotional connection, to get the best out of his players, out of the team as a whole, and create that great sort of working environment.
Yeah, I think that Klopp changed everything from day one inside the club, and I have inside the book words by Kenny Grimes. Kenny Grimes was the gatekeeper of Melwood, and he underlines that it was different. It was something different from the first time. From the very first day. He changed everything inside the squad, but inside Melwood in general, because he created bonds not only between players, but between players and the workers. The workers are daily people like us. They're not millionaires like players. They're workers with a certain wage and average wage. So he created that bond inside the squad and the club that was shown. This aura was shown to the crowd. So in addition, he's a passionate man. He's a man that he grew up playing football, yes, but being a fan also. He was a passionate fan of Stuttgart. So he was in the stadium as a fan usually. So he acts like a fan inside the stadium. So Liverpool, a passionate city, saw a passionate man in front of them, in front of their eyes, and they were like, "Oh, this is one. He is one of us." So it was a change of construction, of the full construction of LFC as a club, and talking about the squad, the workers, and the fans. It was an absolute rebuild because the word rebuild is modern these days about NFC, so I use them also.
Yeah, well, obviously it's definitely going to be a great read for any Liverpool fan to come and have a look. And maybe if you could just mention something that I know you wanted to touch on as well. From the book, it's just him as a leader. So we see him screaming and shouting on the sideline, as you said. You said he's a fan on the pitch, but Jordan Henderson did an interview last week saying that he's totally different in the dressing room. He talks to them calmly. Maybe anything you've learned about how he leads the players and leads the club, maybe behind the cameras and away from what we see.
Yeah, of course. This book examines does not examine the football manager. He examines the leader of the group. It's something different because I don't have the knowledge of analyzing football, but it was not the case here. Not to analyze 4-3-3 and gegenpress and all this kind of stuff. It was the psychography of the leader of the group. The great story is what he told his players the morning before the great comeback against Barcelona. An example I used right now. When he talked to his players in the morning in the hotel, and he told them, okay, we are playing without two great players, Bobby and Mo. It's impossible to come back from 3-0 against Barcelona, but if there is a possibility, it's because of you, because it's you. So you never know. And then Jordan Henderson said that after this speech, we all started to think about Anfield, a goal, an early goal, maybe. So he knows how to speak to the heart of the player, to the soul of the player, because he was also a player. So he knows very well how to talk to the soul of the player. He has great communication skills. You can see it in the press conferences, the interviews, and this thing that all the players say is that he's a father for us. This is not something we cannot point out. He's father figure. I love him as a father. Sadio Mane said. Gini Wijnaldum said that I can call him whenever I want, talking to him for things in general, not in football. The same way, the Dutch player said that the thing that impressed me in our first meeting in his house before signing for Liverpool, was that he did not talk to me about football at all. He only talked to me about life in general and all these kind of things. Because he said that Klopp said that from the moment you are here, I like you as a player. So let's know you as a person. This is the human touch, and this makes him different for the players, I think.
Lovely stuff. I mean, you talked there. One thing that sticks from what you've mentioned is, Jurgen talks to the hearts of the players, and what he's able to get out of his squad at times has been quite phenomenal, as we can certainly attest with the silverware he's secured in recent years. And I mean, at one point, of course, Liverpool were described as being, mentality monsters, having this sort of never give up, never say die attitude, which you explore, of course, in your book. Could you give us some insight into what you've learned about that?
Yeah, I have to say that something quite personal is that I lost my father after a long fight with cancer, less than 48 hours after Madrid glory. I lost him in 3rd June of 2019. So I had to find a way to come back and stand up and keep going in my life. So making my research and writing my book, I also gain a lot of life lessons from this kind of mentality, because this mentality, the never give up, Klopp's never give up mentality, is not only in the pitch, is in general, in life in general, because Klopp also lost his father after a long battle with cancer. So he had dealt with this kind of things, and in general, he says it quite humorously, that I have lost many more times than I have won in my career, and also as a player and as a manager. So it's a very common feeling for him, losing. So finding a way to come back, to bounce back, is something that is very normal for him, and made it normal for the players also. We lost the Champions League final in 2018. We came back and won it next year. We lost the championship, the league title, for 1 point, and the next season we won the title. It was a disastrous season, 2021. Liverpool bounced back and it came very close of winning everything. So this mentality learns a lot, and I think that this there is exactly a chapter in the book called "Never Give Up" that has to give you a lot of lessons, a lot of life lessons. So it's not just football wise.
Yeah, well, firstly, sorry to hear about your dad, and obviously it's a great tribute by yourself to say stuff like that. And it's great that Jurgen Klopp, as you say, people think there's the famous Shankly line, "What if football more important than life and death?" But obviously it's not. But when it comes to things like that, the Klopp can carry that on and can inspire people even outside the footballing world. So obviously you spoke there before about what he said before the Barcelona comeback, and unfortunately we need another comeback against Real Madrid. But he's still manager now. Obviously this covers where obviously up to today, I'm guessing, in your book. But is there going to be a social 1-2? Is there what's going to be in the future, and what do you think the future holds for Jurgen Klopp?
When I signed my contract with Pitch Publishing in January 2022 about publishing my book in English, Jürgen had not renewed the contract. We knew that day that he will resign in 2024. Sorry, 2024. Yeah, he will go on holiday. And thank you, Jürgen. That's why the title is "Why Klopp Was a Perfect Fit for Liverpool," just in case he leaves. Many people and many friends of mine make humors to me that you brought out the book and Liverpool are in that bad situation. But I have to tell everyone that everything it is written in this book has not a connection with and that does not affected by the form of Liverpool, because it's not a football book. It's a book about the leader, a book about the leadership motivation, all these kind of things. But as a person, examines the Klopp as a person. Of course, I believe that. I totally believe that Klopp has a lot of future in Liverpool. I don't believe that he will leave. I think he's the man that can make Liverpool great again. Just for the never give up mentality, the bounce back mentality, and I believe that his squad has a lot of quality. With some investments in the summer and the right rebuild, Liverpool can bounce back again. That's why I believe that I will have a lot of stuff to add in the future. Of course. Yeah, I believe that if Klopp continues to Liverpool, it will be a new edition, of course, maybe.
Lovely stuff. Lastly, if you don't mind me just putting you a little bit on the spot, Marios, I just wanted to get, I suppose, from your perspective, I think we all acknowledge that Jurgen Klopp is a once in a generation manager. He's very much one of a kind as a boss. But from your perspective, do you feel, whether it's anyone currently, in the business or someone younger and sort of up and coming, does anyone, in your opinion, fit a similar mold to Jurgen Klopp? It's politically, socially, in terms of how he behaves as a football coach and with his players and interacts with the fans. Is there anyone else that you feel fits that similar mold, or review the opinion that there's just Jurgen is just quite simply in a class of his own?
Oh man. Wow.
We don't give you the easy questions here.
I never expected. Yes. I was thinking a lot about if there was another person I could write a book about, and I couldn't find any. I thought Thomas Tuchel was an interesting person. I never expected the way that ended his Chelsea career. I totally believed that the story of Tuchel would be like Klopp's, winning the Champions League, etc. But I really don't have an answer right now. I cannot find anyone in those kind of seconds. I cannot find anyone. So sorry. I never expected this question.
The right answer, I think. There is no recruit to Klopp. That's what their answer is. Yeah.
I
want you to write issue number 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this book, because I hope he's here for the rest of my life, and that'll be me. Really happy. So, if you want to tell us how do we get the book, then how do we buy the book? How do we get it? You want to tell everyone where do they get it from?
Yeah, of course. It's published. It's out on. It was out on February 20, and it's from Peach Publishing, a great publisher in football books and sports books in general. You can find it on Amazon and in every big bookstores like Waterstones, etc. But okay, Amazon could be enough if you want it. It goes out. It can be sent worldwide, so. You can find it. You can receive it in every country you live. So do Greeks.
This is music to my ears. I've got a Waterstones just round the corner from mine, so I'll be sure to pick that up and add it to my collection, as I'm sure, hopefully, every single Red who's watching this will be. If you've been watching this on YouTube, be sure to give us a like, whack in a few comments about the boss as well, and give us a cheeky little subscribe. This will also be going up on audio, a Substack, I believe, and we'll be making sure to add all the links to Marios's book there. You can give it a look, hit the cheeky buy button. You want to. Come on, everyone needs another Liverpool book added to their collection. Well, this has been the Empire of the Kop Podcast. We'll get there in the end. We've had Peter Kenny-Jones. We've had the lovely Marios Mantzos to discuss his book, The Social One, Why Jurgen Klopp Was a Perfect Fit for Liverpool. Available on Amazon and Waterstones. You've heard it here for Pitch Publishing. I've been your host, Farrell Keeling, and this has been the Empire of the Podcast. Take care.